it again. Tell us how we gonna have this vanity. She gonna come down from the ceiling.
I'm obsessed with vanity. Remember the seventh heaven, never say never. Heavens, elevator door. Because once you dead, you can't get it up anymore. Okay, I'm sorry.
Who's your best song?
No, honestly, I work out to the glow. I'm so corny.
Oh, I love that.
IGV, you got that glow. Your body knows, so don't let go. Okay, sorry. Hi, guys. I'm your podcast host, Charlie Brixton, and welcome to an episode of Getting to the Pussy.
Yes.
Yes, I am so grateful to be online and to speak with you guys. I did not think we were going to speak until another month or 2 months, honestly. I have equipment at my house. Child, I was trying to figure it out. And I was like, I did not want to give you guys anything ugly sounding. I care for you too much, and you deserve to have things that are good. So a miracle happened. I have a friend. But let me give you this story a little bit. I usually record at another place before COVID. Now we call it COVID-20 because people gain
COVID-20
afterwards. But
42 now.
But I used to record in another podcast recording studio, in the city, a little bit more up and whatever. I don't even want to bring life to it. But I recorded at another place, and I remember we have put probably over maybe $1,000 into this place. And when I mean that, like constantly recording, we're probably recording maybe 10 times, 7 times, whatever. Well, I have. So I've put money, I've always been cordial. I've always been sweet. And I remember the irony, it was on a Sunday, the last episode we did, we had the person there who was extremely rude to us, maybe they had an argument with someone. I don't know, but it was this thing where the energy was off. And I remember my co-host from time to time, every now and then, was so frustrated, hurt, like she was throwing off her game, and we had to kill 2 of our shows because of it. Yeah. Because I was trying my best to keep up the energy, and it was this thing it's hard when you have a fucking engineer who don't want to work on your shit, or who's upset, and the energy was off. And I remember leaving, like not knowing what to do, and I remember she had this anxiety, and then all of a sudden COVID happens and they shut everything down, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't think about it. And then to coming back, I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Maybe I could just record at home. Because, when you work on an art, you want to work on a safe space.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, I have a friend on my IG who owns a studio who, they film movies here and, they do, all type of rap stuff and albums and amazing shit. And
audiobooks.
And I did a web series here, guys, back in the day. And it was a really good web series, by the way. And I was like, yo, I know you can set me up something. Can I use you guys? And he basically got back to me in 2 minutes, was like, yo, Sunday. What? Really? It's happening? It's happening? We're doing a podcast? No problem, And just to be in this space that's welcoming and to be with a lovely engineer who we're both perfectionists and we both work hard. And to be in a place where the owner brings you gummy bears and he knows you're crazy. So he brings you 3 forms of liquid. He brings you literally a Fiji water. And he also, because he knows you like seltzer, he brings you a huge seltzer water. And also, because he knows you're a drama queen and you're a princess at the same time, he brings you hibiscus mitts, unwind. Beautiful from Sunweek.
Magic and the colors match.
And the colors match. So ladies, gentlemen, trans and Aviva, I want to give a special thanks to my friend from Rebell Studio, the Rebell Studio owner, Sakku. Hi,
Sakku. Hey, what's going on? Thanks.
And also, I want to give a shout out to my friend who's hanging out with us, Chris.
Yes, hello.
And the reason why I say this story with Sakku in his studio, because our topic is today, our title of today's show is, what is the worst thing that can happen? And this is where we go into the power of vulnerability. And we'll go into that deeper. But when I mean the worst thing that can happen, guys, we're in COVID. Mm-hmm. People are losing their jobs or off of jobs. We're waiting. Don't you think this is a time when you should shoot your shot? So someone said, I think, Chris, you were like, the celebrities are tripping, child. They ain't got their teams. There's no hair. There's no content. Like, ooh, like.
COVID is the equalizer.
COVID is the equalizer. It is the equalizer where this is fair game. Like, for example, Leslie Jordan, he's on his IG and, you know, he's an older gay man, whatever. He's killing it because he's funny.
Yeah.
Right? And all these other influencers that people would watch, they're not. Because people want to laugh, they want to engage.
You know, I think you put these celebrities in a place where they're ethereal, they're over there. Yeah. I want to achieve that. It's aspiring, but they're just like you. Yeah. They bleed same blood.
Dude, I'm not going to say anything, but I caught a certain celebrity kind of taking my content and switching it.
Really?
I was flattered, but I was like, what? Can I get like 200 in that Cash App, please? Wow. It was weird. I was like, oh, and they don't follow me. I'm not tripping. I love you. I'm going to see you at a conference and I'm going to hug you and I'm going to tell you about that story. But it was interesting. And I'm like, damn, they're running out of stuff, you know, content. But when I mean about shooting your shot, and when I think about you, Sakku, you know, I think here I am at the city studio, you know, and we have this real shit like by Black business, by people of color, you know, and we kind of overlook each other because I ain't gonna lie, we do think we're gonna get bullshit every now and then.
Very
you
true.
know, where, you know, you get fixed stuff and, you know, so sometimes it's
patchwork.
It's patchwork, right? Come on now. I mean, let's have these real conversations. It's patchwork. You know, the family discounts. Like, hold on. We're not gonna get this work done. So you go through the back and forth, but Sakku, you've always, since I've known you, and I've known you for 20-something years now, 24 years or 25 years,
it's a long time.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You have always instilled in me and pushed this thing of ownership, independence. Like, no, this is no, Charlie, you got to own this. No, you got to do this. No, you know, this is, and I'm like, oh, this independence, because I know you don't like asking for permission. Like, it's like this thing is, I'm not going to ask for permission. I'm going to, you know, and I think about you have the studio that's been thriving and people, and you've been holding it down for years. And I think about you, the power of vulnerability. You shot your shot. You know, you may think it was going to happen, right? You may not have had $1 million or Drake to slide you $10,000, but you did that. You know, so I want to ask you and put you on the spot since I can. I was getting ready to give him a compliment and he was like, no, bitch, put it on the air. So yeah, I know, my true funny. So I wanted to ask you, you know, in the thought of, because I want other people to be inspired. What is the worst that can happen? You know, what made you, because I feel like in the world of the blind right now, you are the three-eyed king. Because you're not depending on the government for a stimulus check. You're not depending on the studio to open up to have production. Right? Are you feeling like your dick is like 12 inches right now?
Probably 100.
Yeah!
Right, that's right.
Like, go for it.
I don't need to pee.
I don't need to pee. Go for it.
Yeah, so what was the question? Oh, you just threw me off.
I'm sorry. You know I always have to bring it back to sex.
So
no,
yeah, you do.
So I can't help it. You guys have to realize when you look at attractive men, child, it just takes you everywhere. No. The whole thing is, you still got to bring it back. No, but the whole thing is, it's like for you, you shot your shot. You know, you opened up a studio off of faith. Off of will. I don't know. What was your drive? Because you have your own business, basically. You're not depending on anyone. Yeah. How does that happen?
I think a lot of it was like kind of in the blood. And I say that because I didn't really know my father good, but I met him at least 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I met him when I was older and we was chilling for the first probably 10 minutes. And he said, you know, you can't work for nobody, right?
I love that.
And I was like, oh shit, like, you know, why would he say that? And then he just gave me the family history.
Yeah.
So not knowing that about my family, I was like, oh shit, you know, I'm not as crazy as I thought.
Yeah.
But it was kind of always something that I would hear from my mother first, you know. Mm-hmm. She came to New York when she was 14 from Mississippi. And it was on like a sleeping job. Yeah. So she just left home. So that story she gave me was always just like you said, like shoot your shot.
That's a drive.
Like how much of a shot is that at 14 back in those days, like in the 50s, to just be like, fuck it, I'm out.
Sounds like maybe I did that at 18.
I'm going to New York, you know, you got all these like races and you can't go here. You know what I mean? Like it was just really serious. So for me, that was probably the most biggest story that I would like just kind of put it to, was just like, oh, I have a blueprint. So I would just follow that. Like, okay, just go for it. Fuck it.
Yeah, the courage. I think when I think about my podcast, you know, and I was hesitant about letting anybody know I was going to do a podcast because I did not want to hear, oh, Charlie, you need a production company. You need this. You need a writer. And I was like, I'm smart enough. I don't want to hear this shit. Yeah. And it was this thing of, one, I feel like, and it's so funny, Kris, because we kept on talking about the power of vulnerability. And I was like, what is that? And then I realized, it's like, yes, I may not be skilled in this. Yeah. I may not know. And that makes me vulnerable. That makes me open, because you can call me a novice, you can call me this, but I have something to say. There is content that I'm not hearing that I need to hear. And there's a void that possibly I can put in here. So I'm going to shoot my shot. What's the worst thing that can happen? What? What? Like, really?
Exactly.
I'm thinking.
I think sometimes, you know, we are learned that certain words are defined one way. Yeah. And being vulnerable, you are exposed to certain things. And totally when you are exposed, that exposure may not be right for whatever situation you're in, based on somebody else's perceived notion of that. But that exposure awakens things in you. It makes you kind of do something differently. Okay, so, well, I have, like you were talking about your family, and you have the blueprint, and your mom, as she has, leaving Mississippi in the South, she's been exposed to different situations to come up here to the North. You're going to figure out how you're going to grow from that. You know, you're vulnerable, but you also are going to awaken things within you to learn, and powerful things to keep you going to the way. You have to be able to accept it, though.
It's about the, accept it. It's about this thing of,
accept it, because you can notice it. You know it. You see it. Yeah. You can talk on it. But are you living it? Are you really accepting it?
Are you living it? Are you really accepting it?
Write it down. Next topic. No.
You know me. I literally take notes even in my live podcast because I just like that. No, and I just think it's about being courageous. And people say, I have a colleague that says right now in COVID, that he's getting comfortable with the unknown.
Yes.
You know, he's getting comfortable with the unknown. He doesn't worry. And I was like, what is that? Being comfortable, like...
My boss said that too one time.
Yeah, and I thought with myself, right? Being comfortable with the unknown. And I'm not sure what you believe in, if you believe in source, universe, or God, but it's this thing where, like, I truly feel whatever I do in life, I'm going to be fine. Excellent. Yeah. Everything's going to be fine. You know, there could contrast happen, right? Where it's like, oh, wait, this is happening. But I know it's like, it's always going to work out. Beautiful. Yes. Right? Everything is working out for me.
I said, oh, yeah, I love that.
But to have that kind of feeling, that takes work.
It takes work, but what you were saying is being comfortable with the unknown is also the way of saying I relinquish control. I'm not in control of the situation. Things are going to happen as they're supposed to happen. You have your senses about you know what you need to do. But if we're 2 hours late to something, and I will make a biz.
All the time. And so I do that all the time. This is true. I'm always saying, but I'm going to flip that for you, right? So the only reason why I have practice in that, and this is tricky, I have practiced that within my body. Yep. So for example, I lost 80 pounds. I did not go on the scale on a weekly basis. I didn't. I just did things. I closed my eyes and I was like, I'll wake up one day and it's going to happen. And it did. Right? So when I think about life, if we're doing the things we need to do, if we're going, we can always wake up one day and it'll always be okay. Right?
Yeah, it should be.
Is it that simple? Like, I hope it's that simple. Yeah. I feel like it's that simple.
That's why the body is so important, because your mind and body, everything needs to be connected, because you're in control of this. Yeah. You let other people affect you, but then you can ignore that and move on with it, because you know what's going on. Like, that's why I think getting to the pussy is a beautiful thing, because you get to just say, I am controlling this, and I know how it feels when I get to this point. And I'm seeing the different other entities that are reacting to me differently. I'm still being myself.
All day.
You see something wrong with you. So what's wrong with you?
Get in.
That's a you problem, not a me problem.
I love that.
You know, it's great.
I love that.
It's a good journey.
Right? And I just feel everybody out there. It's like you're in COVID, shoot your shot. It's like, and you're right, this is the great equalizer.
It is.
You know, if you felt down about yourself, bitch, you ain't that down. Just try.
No, exactly.
You know, you'll see these people are backed up by teams, these certain things. And I feel like if you have a business, now's the time to go for it. If you have a performance, now's the time. People are so bored. Think about it. Everyone is talking about how bored they are right now. There's nothing on TV. There's nothing on. And we're paying attention to people fucking TikToks. We're paying attention to Leslie. I live for him, though, honey. You know, but we're paying attention to, we're finding these little odd things that we can find to keep us entertained. This let us know that the system has been broken, guys. When the system comes back on, are you going to watch again? Are you going to be engaged again? Because they were not holding you down for these past 3 months. Shoot your shot. Right? What's the worst that can happen? Go for that shit. Like, what's the worst? The man is chilling right now. He's sleeping. He's
true.
Sleeping. Take this shit.
And still making money off of you.
Passive income. We'll talk about that in the next episode.
But you know, back to the power of vulnerability. You get in these vulnerable places, and you need to say to yourself, okay, I know this is not my comfort zone, but I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to learn from it. And we were talking the other day about what's the worst thing that's going to happen when you having a tough conversation and you don't know how the person is on the other end is going to take it. Just say it, even if it takes them a long time to realize what you were saying. Because what's the worst thing that's going to happen?
And it goes back to, there's an episode I did called Belly. The accumulation. If you don't say it, you accumulate it.
Exactly.
And you pack on.
Or you pack on somebody else negatively.
Ooh! Like my ex. And see where he is now, howling at his old ex with his other ex that looked like me. And,
Don't like it! Don't like it! Don't like it!
All day. No, I get it. Is there anything before we close? Any last words? Any last thoughts?
Oh my God!
Isn't this amazing?
That was quick.
Time goes by. We have
my God!
Any last words? I'm just so excited during this time, and I know, guys, it's scary. It's scary this time. But you got you know, and no one is telling you what the fuck to do right now. You don't got to be anywhere. You got to.
That's true.
You can create. I mean, if you're bored with something, and this is for people who are really bored with something, create. I honestly was bored with the ideal of health. And everybody, oh, my husband, I wanted to lose weight, the things to eat. And I was just like, no, I want to see my vagina. And I still don't know anybody who still wants to see their vagina but me. Well, no, there's some people on my messages.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that I'm the girl who wants to see her vagina for the world to see. I'm exposed, but that's my power.
That's true.
Right? That's my power.
I mean, what I would say is, like, for me personally, going through this COVID 3 months, you have moments of your reflection. Yeah. You reflect on what you've been through, how you've impacted others, and you come back to the familiar. And I think the familiar things that you kind of learned growing up, and someone told you how you should behave and how things should be, you put a different spin on it. No, this is how it should be. And then I was telling you, I have been cooking a lot, and I've gotten to the point where I'm cooking food, don't even know I'm putting things together that tastes just like how I had it when I was younger. And that's why it tastes so good. You're like, what is it? What am I doing? I don't even know what's going to put this together. And that's familiar. You have control over that. And you were vulnerable in a younger state to not realize it because you thought, oh, they're just telling you what to do. I have to do what they say. Yeah. No, I understand what I need to do. It's right there in front of you. And you have to accept it. You can be vulnerable, but also accept it.
Shoot your shot. What's the worst thing that can happen? So within love, we hope we encourage you, because I want to be entertained, and I want to say, and I want someone to tell me 3 years from now, Charlie, it's because of you I did this production. And I want to say, great, can I have tickets to it for free? Anyway,
I want to go there too.
We love you dearly, Sakku. Thank you so much for allowing me to use the studio.
I love your story.
This is my
Thank you so much.
home. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And we love you. Y'all have a good day. Happy Sunday. Yeah. Bye. I want some tequila.
Thank you. That was so fun.